So, all right, guys, let's continue with the next part. According to me, guys, today's class of the Ansible is very much core, or I can say very much important because going to give you a approach, right? And after knowing this approach, right, almost any kind of use case in the Ansible you can solve. Okay. But before this, guys, very quickly, if I want to summarize, right, what we have discussed yesterday. So I told you guys yesterday, if you want to do something on the Ansible, okay, so you require some kind of computer. I can say you require some kind of node. That node is known as CN. This is called controller node. And this is the same operating system, guys, where you have to install Ansible. And yesterday I used pip command to install the Ansible. And from the same system, guys, where you install the Ansible, you have to write the code, or I can say the Ansible own commands, okay, to do something. But what exactly you want to do from the Ansible, right? From this computer, right, I would like to set up, or I can say I would like to configure some other computers. And those other computer guys would be anywhere in the world. Only thing is, between you and between the controller node, you should have a network connectivity. And these computers are normally known as a target node, or also known as managed node. Right? So in my yesterday, guys, I have launched one Red Hat version 8, and I make this guy as a target node. But interesting thing, guys, to make any node as a target node, you don't have to go to these guys and don't have to update here uh, from one single computer, or from one centralized computer. You can do everything whatever you want to do in this setup, because in the organization you might have thousands of computer. And technically these computer, there will be a lot of use case, guys, we are going to discuss. These computer we install, we terminate, again we install, we terminate. So it is like a dynamic nature, right? I don't want to every time go to when this OS come and launch and do something there. What I mean by this, in my upcoming discussion or upcoming class, we will discuss this part again. Very interesting use case, where there I will talk about the dynamic inventory. But right now, just we have started to make the practical little bit sophisticated and simple, so that you will focus more on the core concept of the Ansible. So, guys, yesterday we have created this kind of architecture, okay, or I can say this kind of setup where we have one computer. So if you talk about my laptop, so this is the one computer where I install the Ansible. There's multiple way, guys, to install the Ansible, but I use one of the simplest way, and the right way I can say, using the pip command. Because Ansible is a Python library, and if you want to install any Python library, pip is the command to install any of the Python library. So this system, guys, I used yesterday for the controller node. And I have one more computer that I used yesterday to work as a target node. So our target is to configure this guy. Why? Because Ansible main use case is CM, configuration management. And how they do with the automation, and second they do with the intelligence. And that intelligence is called declarative approach or declarative language. Okay. So when I go for Ansible coding, maybe tomorrow we will move to the coding of the Ansible. But today's, guys, the topic is very important, because the way I am going to explain you the core concept of Ansible, right? So okay, you can think in this way. Okay, after the today's class, okay, any kind of configuration in any kind of technologies, if you want to do with Ansible, you can achieve. So you want to do configure your routers, your switches, your cloud, your web server, mail server, database server, Hadoop, whatever you guys maybe Docker. Okay, today's class will give you a approach, as steps, a logical way, right? If you understand the today's class, that's I know you will, right? Any kind of things you want to configure with the help of Ansible, with the intelligence and with the automation, you can achieve. So I want, guys, focus. I will take I will explain you step by steps. Just try to focus on the concepts, right? So and after you understand today's concept, in the future you want to use a commands, a code, or whatever to do, you can do anything and everything. Okay, so that's what guys we would like to do, right? So for today guys, I'm going to use this computer as my managed node. The how to configure control node, we guys have discussed already yesterday, so I don't want to invest our time. Just want to check one small thing here. Okay, so IP of my current computer, right? So IP of my current controller node in my case is again same 129. So in my case guys, IP 129 is my controller node, and from this computer I will do something on the Ansible to configure this system. And let me pick the IP of this system. So IP of this computer is let me check. So IP of this computer is 162. Okay, so this IP system is having 162. So what exactly we would like to do from this controller node, I would like to do something here, and that something is called want to do some kind of configuration. But guys, before you do this, you have to only do one thing here. Okay, you'll tell to IP129 that IP162 is your inventory, and you have a connectivity. So how we can check the connectivity? So I'm going to IP129, 129, and what exactly I'm going to do here? Okay, so there's one command called Ansible all list host to confirm does I have the inventory or not. So I have the inventory of IP162, and it is the same computer 162. Okay, but guys, writing the inventory is pretty simple, right? But maybe after you write the inventory, maybe IP162 is not connected to you. Okay, because for connecting to the 162, because this computer has to go inside the 162. And for going inside, you require the login and password. Okay, so yesterday guys, I configured my login and password, everything here, and give those information to my Ansible control node. Where I give, so you can ask to your Ansible conf file, you are the main file or the global file, can you tell me where is my inventory? So guys, this is the file where you keep the inventory. And if you open this file, okay, here you mention guys, in IP162, if you want to log in, use SSH. Why? Because IP162 is my Linux system, and the username and password is root and red hat. Okay, so technically guys, this information, this setup we have done yesterday. So I'm just going to give one command guys here, right, to check the connectivity. So if you want to check initially that IP162 is connected or not, or you have all the things properly set up or not, and we are ready to go for the next part. So we can use one command called all. All means, you guys can hold for a second, please. So all means whatever the inventory you have, maybe one IP or 100 IP, just go and visit those computers and check you have a proper connectivity or not, and whatever login and password we have given, they are proper or not. So technically, Ansible has its own inbuilt module for the ping. So ping is one of the module, is not a ping command, is one of the module of the Ansible. It is actually used to check the initial connectivity to your target node. Right? And if you think, if your controllers go to this computer, they will internally go and use this login and password to check the connectivity with this protocol, and everything is good. Okay, they will give the reply called success, or technically they say I have done ping, and they reply with the pong. Ping pong means they have a proper connectivity. So guys, I highly recommend always, before you write any code or do something in any of the target node, ping command is a great command, or I can say ping module is a great module in the Ansible to check your connectivity. Okay, but what exactly the module is? So guys, today's class will explain you the exact meaning of the module, or exact meaning of the argument and other things also. Okay, so guys, technically our setup is ready. So we have one controller node, and we have one target node, and everything is properly setup, and we are ready to use these are ready to use. Okay. So so what exactly I'm going to do here? So guys, today's, again, I'm repeating again, today's class is very important, because I want, please focus on the approach. And by this approach, anything you want to implement with the help of Ansible in the terms of automation, you can do it with intelligence. Okay. So for showing guys today's demo, what I'm going to do, I'm going to plan, right, to configure IP162 for something. Right. So technically my plan for today is to do something. Okay. So in IP162, let's say IP162 is a very new computer. Nothing is there. It's just a pure Red Hat 8 Linux. Okay. And our requirement is to configure these guys as a web server. Okay. And guys, web server is just a concept, right? Which web server software you install. So we have one company called Apache, and Apache company has a product called HTTPD. So I would like to use HTTPD software to be installed, and this software will give me and configure for me a web server. Okay. So technically, I want to configure IP162, right? 162 to be Apache web server. So guys, this is our target. So target is how we can configure IP162 as Apache web server. Now we have three choices. You guys know. One is I can go manually and run the command to install. Okay, this is one thing. Second is I can write some Python code to do it, but I don't like Python. Gives me automation, but I should know the commands. Okay. So third option would be Ansible. Okay. So here, guys, we are looking for automation with the Ansible. Okay. But technically, guys, you guys know in the Ansible, all right, you don't have to tell how to do or which command to use. Okay. Ansible is intelligent, they will automatically find the underlying commands for us. Okay. But in Ansible, it is obviously it is must to tell what exactly you want, what to do. Okay. So what you have to tell to the Ansible, and say Ansible, I want my requirement is to configure the Apache web server. But understand one thing, guys, Apache web server is just a name. Guys, can you hold for a second, please? Sorry, guys. So a lot of cough and cold. So Apache, guys, web server is just a name. Uh, Technically, anybody who know Apache web server, or I have guys shared my video class of Apache. Those who know might have go through my classes. So Apache is just a community, and this community has a protocol HTTPD, and this software we used to configure website or web services, I can say. Okay. But for company to companies, every company will use this software in a different way. Okay. For example, if you want to configure the web server, we require this software. Okay. But after install the software, every company will do something. Somebody adds some extra security, somebody add some extra modules, somebody do some other things. Like in Apache web server, the port number is 80, somebody might change the port number. So every company has a different requirement. Right. So technically you have to tell to the Ansible what exactly you want to do with this software. So technically what I'm trying to tell you here is, whenever you want to configure something, I suggest create one note like this, maybe initially, and create your document here. Step by step. Step one, step two, step three, something like this, and write down your step what exactly you want to do. So first of all, guys, set your goal, right? What is your goal? What you want to do? So our goal is to configure Apache server, or configure Hadoop, or configure Spark, or configure mail server, database server. This is my final goal. Okay. But if you want to achieve the goal, you have to go for certain steps. Okay, for example, if you want to configure Apache web server, so you have to tell which software to use. Do you want to use IAS software? You want to use Nginx software? You want to use HTTPD software? Which software you want to use? Yeah, you want to use and you want to install to configure the web server. Obviously, guys, it is something like this. If you tell the Ansible and say Ansible, I want media player. How Ansible come to know? Ansible know how to install. You don't have to give the command. Ansible know about your OS, but Ansible doesn't know which media player you're talking about. You're talking about VLC player, M player, window media player, or any other player. So you have to be very specific, guys, which which software you want to use. So if your target is Apache web server or a web server, I can say, just tell the software name. I want this software to be installed. So step one done. Okay. Second step is, okay, after install the software, I want Apache, I want Ansible. Do one thing. I have a developer. My developer has created one web pages. Let's say web page name called web.html. So this web page is created by my developer, and this web page is located somewhere on the internet, or maybe the GitHub, or maybe in my local computer. So I want this web page to be host, or this web page to be created as a website. Okay. So obviously, guys, how Ansible come to know which web page you want to host or which page you want to share to the public world. So you have to be very specific, guys, and tell and say this web page is located somewhere in my computer or maybe somewhere from the internet. I want, please go to internet, download this page, and after download this page, copy this page in this server. Okay. And where to copy? Again, guys, if you go to my web server classes, again, servers vary. Okay. So normally in Apache web server, if you want to copy any web page, I can say if you want to host any web page, then we have a specific folder. The folder is where.html. Okay. So you have to tell to the Ansible that get this space from somewhere and copy here. Why you have to tell? Because this is the folder. Company will change this folder name. So my company will look for different folder. So how Ansible come to know which folder we have to copy? Okay. But understand one thing, guys, here in all the steps, I'm only instructing to the Ansible what I want. How you do, that's the duty of the Ansible. I'm not going to tell the Ansible that you have to use apdget command or yum command or dnf command. I'm not going to tell the Ansible for copying you have to use wget command or cp command or scp command. You don't have to tell any of the command. But obviously you have to tell your requirement, right? What is my requirement? Okay, for example, in the third step, guys, if you go to my web server classes, if you by chance know already, okay. So normally, guys, after install the software, you copy your web pages or do something, right? Normally, in the last, you have to start your program or you have to execute your program. Typically, this program is called services. But how Ansible come to know which service you want to execute, right? MySQL or Firefox program or what else? So you tell your service name and say Ansible, we have service called HTTPD. You have to start it. Okay, but how to start? I don't know. I don't know about the Reddit command, systemctl, or any other OS command like upstart command or service command, or I don't know. Okay, so technically, what I'm trying to tell you here is, okay, you should be very clear about your goal, what exactly you want to configure. Okay, and now in your organization or in your company, right, for configuring this part, database server or mail server, LDAP server or Redis server, whatever you guys, or maybe OpenStack or Kubernetes or maybe Docker. Okay, just write down the steps. I want this software to be installed. I want this file to be configured. I want this page to be copied here. I want this service to be started. I want this security to be implemented. I want this this part to be tuned. Tons of things, guys, we do. But let's take a very simple example here. Okay, because Apache web server is a very common server. You guys know this server, and if you want to configure Apache server, these are the steps you have to normally use. But in the company, you might have 100 steps, or maybe another software, you have 1,000 steps. So I suggest just write down these steps. After I've done this step, guys, now we can convert these steps into the Ansible code or Ansible command very easy. But if you're not clear with what you want to do, your goal, and if you don't want to clear, if you're not clear with, right, step by step, step by step, how you can achieve your goal. How means what what you do, what you want to achieve here. So we write all the steps. We are clear, very clear. Now, to achieve this goal, you don't have to know which command to use and how to install the software and how to start the services. Now here we can take the help from the Ansible and say, Ansible, I want to use your intelligence by your code, by your commands. Okay, just for guys today understand everything, both are same, but tomorrow there's difference in code and command. We'll see tomorrow. Okay, but I'll tell my Ansible, I would like to use your help, and I want to write your commands. And my plan is, my plan is to do these three steps. So I want Ansible, can you help me to write a command for this? Can you help me to write the command or code for this? Can you help me to write the code for this? Okay. And if you write the code is a program. A program is what? It's automation, right? So if you run the program, it becomes automated. But because right now I'm going to write a program with the help of Ansible, so it become intelligence. Okay. You do here, guys. You don't have to tell the command is yum command. Okay. Obviously, you have to tell which software to install. But you don't have to tell the command called yum install http. Here you don't have to tell the command called systemctl start http. Automatic Ansible will find for you. Okay. Now how we can, guys, convert these steps into the commands? But again, I think I understand my what I'm trying to say here is just write down your steps. And then after you write down all your steps, verify with the team and confirm, now these are the steps we want to do. Now pick first step and convert your first step into the Ansible command. How? Okay. For this, guys, understand one thing. In the Ansible, right? You can think in this way. Guys, what if you talk about the OS, for example, if you talk about Red Hat version 6, if you want to install a software, the command is yum. In Red Hat version 8, if you want to install the software, again the command is yum, or let's say the command is DNF. If you go to Ubuntu, the command is aptget. So almost every OS has a different commands, right, for installing software. So finally they are installing the software for you. That's what our need is. But OS to OS, the command is different. So what Ansible, guys, has done, what the community who has created Ansible, what they have done, they say, because your final requirement is to do something on the software, and you guys might know software is also known as package. So finally, your final requirement is to do something on the package. Either you want to install the package or uninstall the package or update the package, right? Technically is known as package management. Package management. So why we have to learn multiple commands? So Ansible try to create one single generalized command for this. And they say, now we don't have to learn always a specific command. Maybe in the new version come up, the command might change. So as the IT guys or the admin, or who are actually configuring the computers or server in a company, what they have to do now, they don't have to learn any of the command or any of the underlying commands. Okay, and so say, let's me pack these OS in one box. Let me hide these commands. Let me hide this command. And for the IT guys or the admin of the company, okay, I am the Ansible. I'm going to give you one single command for the complete package management. Okay, and that concept, guys, is known as that command is known as package command. So technically, Ansible trying to say, if you want to do any kind of package management in any of the OS, now you don't have to know any of the OS specific command. You should know only one command. This command belongs to me, package command. And if you use this package command, and this package command is so intelligent, if you run this command against Red Hat 6, okay, this package command will help you to install the software. If you run this package command against the Ubuntu, this will help you to install the software in the Ubuntu. But understand one thing, guys. Ansible is saying I am helping you to install the software. So technically, if you use a package command of the Ansible, and if you run the package command against the Ubuntu, okay, so this package command is the one who make the Ansible intelligent. So internally, package command will go and check who are you, what your OS name. So they ask this system say I am Ubuntu. So package command say I am intelligent and I know in the Ubuntu the command that we use to install the software is apt-get. Okay, so I am the package command. So I am going to call your apt-get command inside the OS and asking this command to install the software for us. Okay, so what I meant by this, let me take one more example here. So when you run the same command against the RH294, so this command automatically find who are you. They say I'm RH294, and package command say I know in RH294 the command to install the software is yum. So I am not the one who installs software for you, but I am the one who are going to call yum command and asking this command to install the software. So technically, for the human being, for us, for the IT guys, for the admin guys, you don't have to learn those commands. Finally, we are going to use these command only, the OS specific commands. But without knowing the command, without learning the commands, without having any idea which command this OS use, we have to know only one single command called package for the package management. Okay. So technically, what I'm trying to tell you guys here is Ansible is intelligent because of their these keywords or these commands. Okay, and this command in the Ansible is known as actually module. So guys, whenever I say a word called keyword here, okay, I normally mean to say module. Okay, and technically, guys, for every purpose, Ansible has the different modules. For package management, they have a package module. Same thing, maybe if you go to Red Hat 6, they have a service command to start or stop the service, and Red Hat 8, their systemctl command to start or stop service, or maybe here their service command to start or stop the service. So Ansible say if you go to any of the OS, the command is different, but finally you have to either start the service or stop the service or or gracefully start the service or reload the service or something like this. Okay, so OS to OS command is different, but final motto is same. So if you want to do any kind of service management, so we have a keyword for the service management or the module for the service management. Maybe module name is maybe service, for example. So you have to just know one single module, and you have to know only one single keyword or the command. Okay, and this command makes Ansible intelligent for what? For service management. Means if I run this command, you go to Red 6 and say this keyword say, hey, I know you are Red 6 and I know in your OS service is the command that we use to start a service. So I am calling this command to start a service. But same keyword will go to Red 8 and call this command. So technically, what I'm trying to clear here is Ansible guys never install the software, never create a file, never stop the services, never set a firewall for you. They are call your OS specific command, whatever exists in the OS. But for the IT guys or admin or for a human being, it makes very easier for you. So now any new OS come up, any new version come up, or any kind of different OS we have in our company, or this called heterogeneous environment, right? One single tool, one specific keyword for one purpose thing, right? For software, for services, for file, for folder, for firewall, securities. Guys, if you try to note, guys, there's not a lot of things, guys. In one single OS, either you can install software, either you can start the services, either you can create a files or can open the file, add some content in the file. Very limited thing we always do. So very limited keyword or the modules available in the Ansible to do all the things. Okay, so technically what Ansible has done, okay, or even though you can think in this way, Ansible is a software written obviously by some developers or some engineers. Okay, so you can think in this way, these engineers has has learned all the OS in the world and try to understand in Red 6 which command we use, yum, in Red 8 DNF, in Ubuntu apt-get, and put all their knowledge in one code. or one keyword. This is called module here. This is called package. So Ansible guy intelligence is not come out of the box. Somebody on our behalf learn all the ways and put everything inside these keywords so that our life or admin life become easy. So they say we'll take all the pain because we belong to Ansible community or the developer of the Ansible. So we'll take all the pain. What you have to do, you have to just use my keyword, my keyword. And what I did, I'll hide all the ways, I hide all the commands. You don't have to worry about which command they belongs to, right? You have to just use my keyword. So it is like this. I just make the thing simple, or I make the thing very much standard. So you can say they try to make the thing standardized. Standardized means for every verse we have different command. Now we have one single command for everything. Oh, I can say one single command to run in any of the ways. So what they say, I hide all things, and this hide is called abstract. So I abstract all the command, okay, of your OS. I got one more vocabulary I just want to give you here is okay. When you go for Reddit 8, the command is system ctl. In Reddit 6, command is service, something like this. So this command is doing something for us. Either they start the services or some kind is going to help to install the software. Okay, so I can say this command is one who helping in my OS. Okay, so for the OS, these command are the resources. In Reddit 8, if the DNS command is not there, a systemctl command is not there, I won't able to start the services. I'm not able to install the software. So for Reddit 8, these are my resources. For Reddit 6, yum or service command is my resource. So Ubuntu apt get command is my resource. But the only challenge is in every OS, the name of the resource for doing one thing, same thing is different. So what Ansible has done, right? They create one single name for all the resources for same thing. For example, for package, they create one single resources. And that is the reason, guys. Here, we can use one term on which idea Ansible work on is called RAL, resource abstraction layer. So Ansible say there's a lot of OS running behind the scene. I create one layer. Okay, so if I create this diagram like this, so there's a multiple OS we have. This is Red Hat 8, Red Hat 6, this is Ubuntu, this is Red Hat 8, this is Red Hat 6 or Red Hat 7. So Ansible say I create one layer between the OS and between the human being, let's say, or the IT guys or admin guys. And what I did, I create okay my own resource or my own keyword or my own module that abstract all the commands of this OS. So this is called layer or L. So technically, guys, Ansible work on a concept called RAL, resource abstraction layer. And they say you don't have to worry about what is there hidden in this box because your final requirement is to install the software. I will get it done for you. I won't install for you, but I'll get it done for you. That's okay for us, right? I will get it done, all the things for you. Because I abstract everything. I know everything about these OS, but you don't have to know. You have to know only my my keywords, and those keywords are known as module. So technically, if I say Ansible is intelligent, so technically I mean to say um, Ansible keyword or Ansible modules is the one who make the Ansible intelligence. Okay, so guys, this is one terminology I just want to tell you. So technically, okay, after knowing this some basic term here, and after you know what your final requirement is, now what can we do? Okay, because we know we have to do something on the software. And guys, know software is a package, and so you want to install the package, update the package, or you want to uninstall the package. So you want to do something on the package management. So ask Ansible, do you have any keyword or do you have any module to do something for the software or do something for the package? Okay, so Ansible say yes, I have one module, and name of the module is called package. And how I know? Obviously, guys, you don't have to remember this thing because Ansible is not created by us. So the developer of the Ansible might have given a module name package, might have given module name software. How I know? Now here we can take the help of the Ansible doc. So I highly recommend, guys, don't try to remember, because how we know, the developer of the Ansible, they know what is the name of the keyword they use. Okay, so I highly suggest, okay, you can use this approach. Just search in the Google and say Ansible, I want to do something on the package. Do you have any module for this? So search in this way. Okay, maybe the first link or second link, they will give you some document. Let's say, I think maybe the first link. Okay, so 1 minute. So maybe this first link, second link. So here the document of the Ansible, and they say if you want to do something on the package, okay, so we have one keyword or we have one module called package. So technically from this document I come to know what module they have. So module name is called package. So if you want to install any software, we can take the help from this keyword or from this module. And we'll tell this module that we have a software called HTTPD. We have this software, right? And I want to install this software, or I want to update the software. I want to uninstall the software. But in my case, I would have to install the software. I would install the software. So technically, guys, if you notice, guys, let's say this is one command. If you notice, guys, here, what I am doing, I'm telling my Ansible, or I'm declaring my Ansible that Ansible, I want this software to be installed. And how I know this is software name, this is not the service name, or this is not file or folder name, because I use a module name called package. Okay. But if I don't use package as a module name, if I use service as a module name, so again, I'm telling my Ansible, I want to do something here. But what this something is? It's not software, it's not a file, it is my service. So technically, module is the one who instruct the Ansible, okay, what resources we are looking for, which kind of commands we are looking for. But guys, here, if you notice, guys, this command, I haven't mentioned you are going to run this command on Reddit 8 or Ubuntu. And second thing, I'm not mentioning here, you have to use yum command or apt command. So this module or keyword will find automatic on this part for us. But there's one more thing is here, right? I tell the Ansible, this is my module. Okay, and guys, to tell the module, this is the module. In the Ansible, we have an option called -m. So -m is one option in the Ansible command we have. So through which I'm telling my Ansible, this is my module name. But how, my guys, my module name come to know your software name is HTTPD or your software name is installed? So every module comes with options. So guys, if you go to this document and if you go down, so every module come with the options are also known as parameter or also known as attributes, or I can say arguments. So package module say if you want to install any software, you have to give a package name or software name. Okay, and to tell it is software name, you have to use a keyword called name. Means you have to use a keyword called name. Okay, then I come to know, hey, HTTPD is a software name. Install is not a software name. Okay, HTTP is software name. But how I come to know you want to install the software, and want to install, or you want to uninstall the software. So to tell you want to install the software or want to remove the software, then you have to use a keyword called state. Here. And how I come to know, we have to use install here, we have to use stored here, or some other value. So in this document, guys, it is written you have to use a keyword called present. Present here. So technically you should know your requirement. None of the world guy in the world will become so intelligent that they know about your requirement. So you should know your requirement. Okay, and whatever your requirement is, tell to the Ansible. That Ansible will do for you. Okay, but you should know, right, which software you want to install, right? You want to install it. You don't want to install it, and what is this software name or service name or file name? So you can tell this is my software name. This is my package. Okay, but important thing is, guys, if you know what is your requirement, creating this command is not big deal. Because Ansible, guys, the syntax is simple. If you want to create any Ansible code, I can say Ansible command, we have to start with module name. And every module come with a parameters, or I can say arguments. And you don't have to guys remember the argument name also, because every modules have that great document. Right, come to this document, and here they give you all the list of parameter or the argument. Just pick here. And here they also give the value, what a value they supported. Guys, if you remember yesterday, I used service module, and there it failed because I write something there, running or stop, something like that. So if I have the document with me, so I'm very clearly, it is mentioned in the document what are the keyword they support. Okay, even this also show you here is, if you write the software name, I will install the software. Okay, but if you want to be specific with some version, so you can give the version also, like I would like to install HTTP version 1, version 2, whichever the version you want to install, you can also write here. Or to tell these are the argument or these are the parameter, you have to use option call of an I. I put this guy in one box. So technically, okay, I am telling my Ansible that I have to do something on the package. Okay, what I would like to do, this is my desire. So guys, I told you guys yesterday a concept called desire state. Okay, so what is my desire? My desire state is, I want this software to be present. So Ansible will go guys to respective target node and they check there. If they find there that particular software installed, they don't touch this. So again, this is the second benefit of the Ansible you will achieve. So whatever you ask to Ansible, if it is already there, means whatever you're looking for is your desire, and what is there is called current state. If there is already exist, say they won't run this command. So if they won't run this command, it will save your CPU time. Okay, and obviously it will improve your performance also. Okay, guys, this concept is called idempotence. So guys, you don't have to worry about Ansible will do idempotence for you on the fly. What is idempotence, I will have discussed already guys yesterday to you. Okay, so technically, so my final say here is, because you know a final goal, you write the steps, use the Ansible doc, right, and create a command. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Let me try for this step. Okay, because now we know our requirement. Okay, and I want my requirement to be solved with Ansible. Ansible, but in the Ansible, I know my requirement is do something on service. Okay, but I don't know the module name. And every module come with argument, so I don't know my argument name. So in the Ansible, the syntax is you have to always write the module name, and mostly guys, a module come with some arguments, or I can say a parameter. Okay, but right now, because you know your requirement, you want to do something on the services. Okay, but you don't know guys what is the name of the module. So what can I do? Again, I go to Google and say, Ansible, do you have any something for the service or service management or file or directory? Okay, so again, if you say here, maybe in the first line or second line, you will see the document. And they say here, if you want to do or manage some services, we have a module name called service. So from this document, I come to know the name of the module that if you are looking for is service. Okay, but to tell the service module, which service you want to start. So obviously you should know you want to start HTTPD, databases, mail services. So right here, HTTPD. And here, obviously, do you want to start this service or stop this service? What exactly you want to do, or restart the service? Because your requirement is to start. Okay, but how my service command come to know? Okay, HTTPD is a service name or start a service name. So for this, you have to use some kind of argument or some kind of parameter. So if it goes down, guys, they will give you some parameter here, and we see here, you can give the service name. So name of your argument or parameter is name. And I know HTTP is my service name, so name equals HTTP. And what do you want? What is your requirement? What is your desire? What is your desire here? So my desire is I would like to start my services. Okay, here guys, they give you the complete detail. Okay, and the keyword they give you is called again state. So state equals to started, I don't know. Here they write you have to use a keyword called started. Started. That's all. So technically, because I know my requirement, only thing is my requirement I have to convert into the Ansible command or Ansible code. And how to convert? You don't have to guys remember this thing, right? Just go to Ansible doc, search for what exactly looking for. After get this doc, go to this table called parameter table and convert your requirement into this kind of argument. That's all. Okay. So guys, let me run one by one. Okay. So because our target is to configure the system, so I have to first run step number one. And guys, this Ansible command or the Ansible code, you two guys run everything about Ansible from the controller node. Okay. So I'll go to my controller node. This is my controller node. And from this controller node, I would like to set up my managed node. Okay, before I set up managed node, let me check does managed node has this software already installed or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the managed node here. Okay, let me check guys in my managed node, this software is already installed or not. To check, this is the command we can use. Okay. So guys, by chance in my managed node, this software is already there. Maybe from my last batch, this software is already there. Let me check my service also. My service is already running. Okay. Now this node is already configured. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, okay, let me remove everything from my managed node so I can configure from the scratch. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, I'm going to stop my services. In your case, you don't have to do. I'm doing this thing so that my system will become clean, so I can show you from the scratch. Okay, then I go to this folder. I have this file already created. Let me remove all the files. Star means remove all the file. Yes, 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 yes. So in this folder, I don't have any file. And let me do one more thing. Let me uninstall the software. So this is a command you can use to uninstall software. Or maybe you can use yum command. So because there is dependency, so you can use yum command to remove the software. So you don't have to do this thing in your laptop or in your system because your system might be new. And if you install any new Red Hat system, okay, your system not don't come up with pre-install or configure Apache server. But by chance, if you have pre-configure Apache server, you can use the same steps to delete everything. Okay, so technically, this step is not important at all. Even though guys, whatever I did, I can use Ansible also to uninstall the software or to stop the services, to remove the file. But my plan is to show you something else. So by chance, I manually did here so that I can focus more on the my current requirement. So guys, my current requirement is in this IP address, IP162, IP162. Okay, my first requirement is I would have to configure Apache's web server on IP address 162. Because I want to do something on the IP162. So first of all, guys, I have to go to my control node and say, control node, you have one inventory set for IP162 because I want to do something there. Plus, also check your connectivity with a module called ping. So, guys, again, ping is the one intelligent module they have. So this module know how to go to this IP, put the login and password, and check the connectivity. If the connectivity is good, they will reply with a pong. Okay. So I'll tell my control node because I would like to do a web configuration on IP162. Just go and check the connectivity. So that's okay, guys, in our case. And this setup we have done already yesterday. Now, what exactly I want to do? So in IP162, this is my IP162. Okay. Okay. My first requirement is to install the software. There's three ways. Either you can go manual install. But for this, you should know yum command. Or write a Python script. Again, for this, you should know yum command. But third step is this intelligent step. Without knowing your OS name and OS version and the yum command, this will help us. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I am going to my control node and say Ansible. I would like to do something on the package. Okay. And which package? software name is HTTPD. Okay, and what exactly you want to do? Install, start, uninstall. So I would like to install it. So I will find for installation we have to use a keyword called present. That's all. Okay, but guys, if you run this command, it will fail. Why? Because guys, whenever you run any command in the Ansible, okay, whenever you run any module in Ansible, you have to tell where you want to run this module. So right now, because you have inventory, sorry, okay, you have the inventory all. Okay, so you have to be specify that I have to do something on the package management, where in all the IPs. Guys, there's other way also. If you want to specify like say maybe 100 system, but you don't want to configure all 100 computer, you don't only want to configure only one single computer or two computers. So we can use some other keyword also. What is those keyword we will see, and can also create our own keyword here. But here all means, okay, I want all the IP I have. Right now I have single IP, but I can add more IP. But I want all the IP that I have. I want Ansible will go to all hundreds and thousands of IP and install this software for me. Okay, so guys, this is a complete command. So guys, the syntax of Ansible command is, first you have to tell your inventory, then your module name, then the argument of or the parameter of this module. Technically, I have only one single inventory, 162. So when I run this command, it will go internally to this OS and install the software. But right now, guys, in this system, I don't have this software installed. See here. So rpm is a command to query that this software installed or not. It's not installed. But what you will see when I hit this command, so from the controller node, they are going to IP 162, means my managed node. Okay. And internally Ansible is trying to figure out who are you. So IP 162 say I am Red Hat, I am Red Hat version 8. So Ansible say, hey, because you are Red Hat version 8, I know you support DNF or yum command. So I'll call this command for you. I'm not the one who going to install, but I'm going to call the yum command in your OS and asking yum to install the software. And finally, guys, if you see here, a message called RC equals to 0. Okay. So RC 0 means, so guys, whenever you run any command in any of the OS, every command will either return error or either return success. Okay. And internally, guys, in almost in all the OS, right, whenever they return success, they return with them code. Okay. So let me write here. So guys, whenever run any command, either run by you or run by Ansible, run by Python, whenever you run any command, okay, if command run successfully, or maybe command will fail, there's two possibilities mainly. If the command runs successful, internally they return a code, and the code they return is 0. But if they return some any other number 1 or greater than 1, right, it means fail. And this code is called return code. So whenever you see return code 0, it means whatever command you run or Ansible run is success. So if you see here, okay, because I got the return code 0, it means whatever I ask Ansible to install the software, they have done it. Okay, one more way we to verify if there's no red error come up, if the output come in orange or the green color, it means whatever you have done is success. This other way to check this. So technically, from my controller node, we have successfully installed the software. And how can I verify? Because by chance I know the Linux basic commands, so I can use this command to verify. You can see, guys, it is been installed. Last time it wasn't there, but without coming to this OS, without knowing the yum command, okay, this software has been installed. That's all. So technically, step number 1 has been done. So I run this command in all computer. Now step 1 is done. Let me go for step number 2. Okay, step 2 is, okay, so let's say in your internet, there's one web page created by a developer, or maybe in GitHub there's one web page created by a developer. Okay, but to make it simple, in the future class I'll show you how to get from the GitHub or how to get from internet. But to make it simple, let's say in your controller node, so this is your controller node. Okay, let's say I'm going to create one file here. Let's say web.html and this is called my Linux world website. So this file I created. So let's say this file we downloaded from the internet or from GitHub, or some of my developer has created this website with this content. Okay, so my requirement is, guys, is okay, this file technically, according to my diagram, is located here. Okay, so this file is located here. File name is called web.html. But this computer is not your web server. Your web server is IP162. Okay, so our target is to copy this file from IP129 to 162. And those who know Linux, so if you want to copy one file from IP129 to 162, those who know Linux, so we have a one command called scp. Scp is a one command through which I can copy a file from one computer to other computer. Okay, but if you go to Windows, you want to copy file from Windows to Linux, then the command is winscp. So again, OS to OS command will change. Final requirement is to copy the file from one computer or one node to other node, but OS to OS command might verify. Okay, so again the role of Ansible come in here. So I'll tell my Ansible, this is the computer we have. I want take this file from this computer and upload to this computer. So technically what I'm telling to Ansible, I have this file here in my computer. This file I have in my computer. I want you copy this file. I want you copy this file, right? Where? In my target node. Okay. But understand one thing, guys, if you want to copy a file in the target node, guys, file always stored in some of the folder. So again, guys, if you guys go through my web server classes, I told you there, right? If you want to host any web pages or host any website, so Apache web server, guys, host the website in a folder called where www.html. Okay. So technically, if you want to copy the file, you can copy file anywhere. But my requirement is to use this file as a web page. So Apache web server, guys, will read the web page from this folder. Okay, and you can change also. So there's a way we'll see in the future we can change also, like web folder, like Vimal folder, you can change. So my point, guys, here is how Ansible come to know which file to copy and where to copy. Okay, so obviously, guys, you'll tell the Ansible, this is the file we have to copy and this is the folder where we have to copy. Okay, so technically Ansible, in the Ansible, you have to give your requirement or your instruction, what exactly you want to do and where. But how to copy, which command to use, you don't have to worry about. I will take care. So technically in the Ansible, you tell, I have this file in my computer. So technically this is called source file, where it has some code or data website. And I want you copy this file in this folder. Okay, this is called destination folder. So technically for this, we have to create Ansible command. So Ansible, I say whatever the nodes or inventory you have, I am looking for some module and I'm looking for certain argument. But I know my requirement. I know my requirement, this file to be copied, and we have to copy here. Okay, but understand one more thing, guys. This file is located in my controller node, and I have to copy this file to my target node. Okay, so if, because this file is there in your computer, so this file is called source file, and you want to upload in the target node. So this folder is known as your destination. So technically we know this file we have, and here to upload. Okay, but technically if you want to copy this file from here to here, it internally, you know what, it is like uploading. You have to upload the file from one computer to other computer. So for this, what you have to do, you have to again, guys, can you hold for a second, please? So technically, again, we have to look for the module. Again, guys, just go and search in the in the Google and search Ansible. Do you have any module through which I can copy one file from one node to other node? So again, if I search in the Google documents or Ansible document, I say Ansible, I would like to copy, okay, a file from remote to local or something like this. Okay, so you will get, guys, some keyword here. Most probably, maybe the first line will help you. Let me check this particular URL. So here they say if you want to copy the file to the remote location, okay, then we have a module called copy. Copy is a module you can use. Okay, so finally, what Ansible will help you, right? If you want to copy a file from one computer to other computer, or from local computer to remote computer, right? Then we have a module called copy. Okay, but every module, guys, come with a parameter or the argument. So if you go down, okay, go down, and here you can see where you want to copy the file. So tell me your destination. Okay, so my destination is this one. Okay, and which file you want to copy. Okay, so if you see here, tell me the local file that you want to copy to your system. So here we can use src command. So this is my src. So again, guys, finally, again, if you look at this command, I'm telling my Ansible that I want this file to be copied here. But I'm not telling this system is Windows or Red Hat, or this system is Windows or Red Hat or Ubuntu. I want you automate figure out and automate figure out the respective commands. I want my target is to copy this file here to here. Okay, but understand, guys, one small thing. Why I'm copying here? You can copy anywhere. You can copy to folder called etc. You can copy to folder called /root. You can copy anywhere. But why I'm copying here? Okay, because for the Ansible, you can copy the file here. Ansible will do for you. You can copy the file in this folder. Ansible will do for you. For the Ansible, there is no big challenge. Okay, but why I'm copying here? Because I want to copy here. And why I want to copy here? Because I know from my knowledge of web server that web server always read the file from this location. Okay, because why I know this? Because I know my requirement. I know my requirement, my step note two. I know which file to copy and where to copy. Whatever, guys, you tell to Ansible, Ansible will do for you. But you should be very specific. Which file to copy and where to copy. And if I'm copying this folder because my requirement that I have in my company, or my company say if you want to configure the web server in my company, I always keep the file in this folder. But maybe in a company, your folder location might be different. So wherever you want to keep the file, you can keep the file there. Okay, so that's what. So what I'm going to do here, same command I'm going to write from my control node. So I'm telling my computer control node, Ansible, go to all the computer. Right now I have one single computer. Use a module called copy module. Okay, and I have one my local file called web.html that I have created right now. But maybe I have scared by other developers. I downloaded here. Okay, so this is a local file I have, and I would like to copy this file to a folder called where WSL. Okay, but before, guys, I run this command, I'll go to my manage node to check. So this is my manage node or target node. In this node, we have the software, but in this folder, we don't have any file. But if you want to copy the file, either you can use some download command or or some kind of Ansible command, but you don't have to worry about, because you have given this requirement to the Ansible will do this thing for you. And for this, you don't have to come here. I'm just keep on coming here to just to verify whatever we are doing is actually happening here. Okay, but technically you don't have to come here. Everything you can manage from the control node. So when I run this command, what will happen? Okay, Ansible will pick this file and upload this file to this location, and they have done successfully. How? Because some orange color come up, and the best way to check is the best way to check is they might give you, not always they give you, but they might give you RC equals to 0. So by chance in this command they doesn't give you, that's okay. But if you see this orange color, this is also one of the way to verify that this command runs successful. But yeah, if the output come red color, it means it's not working properly. Okay, but if I can if I want to verify this, okay, again go to the system in this folder. And last I haven't had this file, but if you run now, this file come and this file uploaded with the content. Okay, so technically, okay, without coming to the managed node or target node from the Ansible controller node, we have done step number 2. Okay, and now how to run the step 3? We have done this part yesterday, but let me show you one more time. So in my guys, my managed node, I don't have any service running. By chance I know the command how to start service, but I don't want to use the command. I'm considering that I don't know the command. So without coming to the system, guys, if you want to start the service, we can do. Okay, how? We can use this command. Okay, again, run all. So I go to my control node and say Ansible, and all the controller node, sorry, all the target node, I have to do something on the services, and my requirement is to do something on this service, and my requirement is to start the service. Start the service. That's all. So without going to their computer, I'm starting the services. Okay. Again, orange color come up, but you will see somewhere maybe this command might give you RC, but not all the command give you RC. RC means written code. Let me check here. Okay, so they don't give you RC, but the main thing is they give you orange color and they use the word called change. Some command give you the option called change also. Whatever you're asking is being changed. Okay, so finally my need is to start a service. Let's see. Last time the service was dead, but without coming to this computer, my service has been started. Started. So finally, guys, we had a plan to configure the web server on IP162. And for configuring, guys, IP web server on IP162. Okay, I haven't used any manual method. I haven't used any kind of Python code. I write some command or the code of the Ansible, and I just instruct. I just instruct to install the software, copy the file, and start the services. Maybe, guys, you might say, you might say, okay, this command look more bigger, right? Even though I can use yum install http command. So I know yum install http command. If you run manually, it is smaller command and it will run very faster. Okay, but you can think in this way, because by chance we know about the Red Hat 8. We know about the Red Hat 8, so that is the reason we might know yum command. But let's think we don't know the command, or maybe after some version of Red Hat, they might change the command from yum to dnm. Okay, or maybe your account change, you don't want to configure Apache server on Red Hat. Maybe you want to configure in Ubuntu on some other OS. Okay, so this command is a generic command now. This will run in all the OS in all the versions. That's the main thing about this command. Okay, So you can also think in this way. And second thing about this command is, right now I have configured only in IP162, but let's say one more inventory command. Okay, let me show you here. So what I'm going to do here, let me launch one more OS. So I have one more OS here. Let me pick this one. Okay. And suddenly we have some more requirement come up, and your company say, till now we have only one single website. We have only one single website, and now we have some more requirement come up. I want to have a more website. Okay. So guy, can you hold for a second, please? Sorry guys, very hard to talk. A lot of cough and cold. Okay. So technically, what the requirement come up right now, we have one single target node, and that is IP 162. And we have configured, guys, Apache server on IP 162. Okay. But let's say we have sudden one more requirement come up, and the requirement is we have to launch one more computer. That I launch here. And let me log into this guy. Let me check the IP of this system is 155. And now we have one more requirement come up, and company say you had one computer already. It's called IP162 that we have already configured Apache web server. Okay. Now suddenly we have to require one more web server to be configured. Maybe we have some more load come up, some more extra traffic come up, right? I want to have one more computer to have exact copy of the web server. Exact copy of the web server. Okay. So how we can do? Nothing, guys, special, guys. We have to only do one single thing. In the controller node, you have to just update your inventory. That's all. Okay. So what we have to do? You go to this controller node and just go to your inventory file and say, let me copy this line. Let's say one more IP come up. In my case is IP 155. 155. That's all. And what are the IP, this IP, what a password and username they have put here. In my case, the username password is the same, but maybe in your case, it may be different. So now we have two IP command. Very quickly, let me check. We have two IP. Also, let me check one more small thing. Let me check the connectivity with the ping command. So guys, now one more error come up. One more error come up. Okay, IP162 has a proper connectivity, but IP155, guys, is failed. And guys, without having the connectivity, obviously you won't able to do anything there. And why this error come up? So for this, there is one more concept. Let me explain you here. Okay, so technically you know, if you want to do Ansible from one system to other system, and if this is your target node and your target node is Linux, okay, so your controller node will connect to the Ansible using a protocol called SSH. And anybody who know SSH, they might know, whenever, guys, one computer do a SSH to the other computer and they're doing SSH first time. So SSH, guys, share some keys behind it. So let me show you, guys. Let me show you. Let me show you with the command, right? So I think you guys know this command SSH, and I'm doing this SSH to this IP. So guys, this is my control node, and I'm doing SSH to this system. And maybe this is the first time we are doing SSH. And whenever you do SSH first time, they ask you, do you want to continue, yes or no? If you say no, it will disconnect. And if you say yes, okay, then it will ask you the username and password. Okay. But guys, here, if I say no, what error come up? Error say the key is not verified. So what is key? Again, it's not important right now. Maybe if you want, I have one class on SSH. I will share this class to you. And in that video class, I explain about what is SSH and what is the meaning of key here. But technically, whenever guys you connect to any of the IP, first time in SSH, okay, you have to say yes. What this yes will do, it will download the key from this computer, and this key is called public key. Public key. Okay. So technically, if you do SSH to the computer as a human being, you can manually say yes. After you say yes, it will download the public key for you. And the key we use for some verification. There's some kind of verification we have to do in the SSH for some kind of security. Okay. So if you do SSH manually or with putty command or putty program, you can use SSH yes manually. But here in our case, Ansible is doing Ansible is doing SSH. And because Ansible is doing SSH on our behalf, so this computer is sending and asking Ansible, can you say yes or no? Or Ansible is not capable enough right now to say yes or no. So technically, they feel Ansible say no, because they feel Ansible say no, so they do it doesn't transfer the key, and finally you get this message. so so they say Ansible is trying to do SSS to this computer first time, and this system is sending some kind of key. And Ansible is not allowed to accept the key by default. So they say host key check-in failed. Is not supported. Okay. So technically, what I'm talking about, guys, if you are trying to do SSS first time in the managed node with the help of Ansible, because Ansible always do SSS behind the scene, right? So first time, guys, you always get this message. So either you can manually do SSS and do a yes, it will get the key. But again, you have thousands of computer. First time, always say yes, yes, yes to all the thousand manually. Again, it take a lot of time. So what can we do? Okay, here guys, we can take the help of Ansible configuration file. So this is an Ansible conf file. And here I can set one keyword here and say Ansible, whenever you're running your command, and if you're going to one of the computer first time, and if they're asking you to transfer key for something, okay, what for the something is not important here, but for something, okay, so I'm instructing you, I'm telling the information to you that you have to accept the key. You have to pass yes there. So you go and get this error. Okay. So for this guys, so technically, if you want to tell anything to Ansible, you have to always go to Ansible configuration file. And here there's one keyword you have to write. It's called host key checking equals to false. Okay, host key checking. So there, guys, this is one more keyword available. How I know this? Just go and search in the Google and Ansible document. You will find. And Ansible. 1 minute. Ansible. If you have any kind of SSH key, host key checking come up, what to do? So somewhere you can find for this. Somewhere you will find this keyword or read some document. Okay, host key checking something you can find here. Okay, this one, host key checking false. Okay, right here. So technically it means it means if somebody if you're doing if you're connecting the system first time and they are asking to verify the key, don't verify. Technically it means automatically accept the key. Okay, so you can use this keyword. Now if I again run the ping command, now what we'll see this time, now this time is everything is connected successfully. So technically what happened behind the scene, this time Ansible go to this computer first time, and this computer is sending the key So Ansible say yes. For me, this key is okay. For my side is yes. Send the key. Send the key, and after send the key, we have a connectivity. And after we have the connectivity, there's no issue in the ping pong. Okay, something like this. So, like this concept that I explained you is not at all the part of Ansible. If you know SSH, you know the meaning of SSH key. But by chance, if you don't know SSH, don't worry. I will share one extra video to you for extra knowledge. Okay, but technically, in the simple term, okay, this is the keyword normally we have always has to write in this file. Okay, otherwise, if you connect to one of the node or target node first time, they always fail. Okay, and we have to write this keyword in the Ansible conf file. It means if you write anything in Ansible conf file, it's like global file. Global file means if you run Ansible in any of the computer, okay, it will apply to all the computers. So it is like an Ansible global conf file. Okay, so this is one thing. So finally, now we have two inventory, and all the inventory we have a connectivity. We have the connectivity. Now my target and our goal is to configure both the guys as the web server. Okay, but this is one new computer I launched. Let me check, guys. This computer has a web server or not? Yeah, this computer has no web server. Okay, so what I'm going to do? Nothing special, guys. I'm going to write the same command here. Same command. No change. And beauty of this command is when I run this command, they go to all the inventory and check this software installed or not. If the software installed already, they won't do anything. If the software is not installed, they will install for you. Let me check. So they're going to all the computer one by one. Okay, and here they go to IP162. Okay, and you guys, if you notice one thing here, in IP162, they say whatever you're asking is success. Okay, but the change is false. means means whatever you ask me, what you ask me, okay, is already there. Nothing to do. Again, understand one thing. If you're asking to install some software, and if software is already there, they won't do anything. And that time, guys, you will see the message in the green color. Okay, so what I mean by this, let me very quickly tell you here. Okay, so technically, you ask Ansible, I want in all the computer, let's say in IP162. Don't focus, guys, here. We'll discuss why this red message come up. All right. So I ask, go to all the IP, let's say in IP162, and I want this software to be installed. Okay, to install, presently installed. But what Ansible will do for us, right? Ansible will go to this IP and first check this software is already there or not. And what Ansible find, this software is already there. Because software is already there, they won't run the software installation command. And how I know? Because this message. This message say, whatever you ask me to do, I false. I haven't do. I haven't failed. My return code is 0, means I am successful. But you ask me to install this software, or because the software is already there, so I skip this part. But if you see, guys, in my last commands, so if I go up, I can see, I can't see the history. Maybe let me check. Yeah, if you go up, last time I did the same thing. Let me show you. Last time I did the same thing. I asked to install the software. But that time Ansible go to IP162, and what the Ansible find, they find what you are looking for is installing the software, but that software is not available. Because it's not available, so I will install for you. So if you see as change is what true. So what you ask me to change, I have done for you. Okay. But in this case, also written code is 0. So guys, whatever you ask to the Ansible, either they do for you or they don't do for you. In both the case, written code is 0. Means it's successful. But the good thing about the Ansible is they say because you asked me to install the software and I found the software is not installed. So your desired state is present, but it's not available there. So I installed for you. So I print this message called change equals to 2. You ask what you ask me, I've changed for you. And guys, whenever Ansible do something for you or change for you, they always come in the color called orange. But same command I run again one more time on IP 162. And what this guys this time come up, they say, what you ask me, I haven't changed. Because what you ask me is already there. So your desired state is installed. What I have found here, this called current state. Again, they already there, right? So desired state is equals to current state, means what you're looking for is already there. So there's no meaning to again install the software. So I technically internally I skip and I haven't changed anything for you. Everything's true, it's successful, but I haven't run this command. I skip for you. Again, this green color message indicate that Ansible work with the concept called idempotence. Okay, this one. So this means, guys, whenever you see the message called orange color, it means they've done something for you. When I see the message called green color, it means what you ask them, it already exists there, so they skip. So it will save the time, obviously. But whenever you see anything in the red color, means something is some issue we have. But guys, his issue is not about the connectivity. I have proper connectivity IP155. There is no error in the terms of in the terms of IP address, login and password. Okay, still they fail. Still they fail. Why they fail? So very interesting concept, guys, here. So why they fail? Okay, so this they fail, guys, here in IP 155. Okay, let me show you. Okay, guys, whenever any red message come up, first of all, guys, red indicate whatever we ask them, they fail. And there's one more way to check. You can see written code is not 0. It is apart from 0. 1 or maybe any other number, it will fail. Okay. But why they fail? Okay. Sometimes, guys, they try to show you the message. Here, guys, the message is it's called this software is not available. This software is not available. So try to understand one thing, guys. I told you multiple times today, Ansible is the one who going to help you to install the software. But Ansible, guys, never gonna install the software. So what Ansible do? Ansible go to this IP and say, hey, I know you are a Red Hat version 8. And I know in the Red Hat version 8, yum is a command to install the software. So I, Ansible, call this command and ask this command to install the software. But what if, guys, in this computer, if yum is not configured? If yum is not there, software is not available, we don't know where the software located, how Ansible will go and download the software, and how Ansible will ask the yum to install it. So technically, guys, in IP155, the challenge is not from the Ansible command, and challenge is not from this module. Okay, this module behind the scene use yum command, and yum is not configured in IP155. How I know? Okay, if you know anything about the yum command, all right, you can use this command yum repo list. You can use this command to verify. And this command say there's no repository available. So technically, you know what? Ansible is internally using this command. By saying I know the command, but Ansible say you don't have to know this command. But internally, Ansible is using this command and running this command for you without your knowledge. And if you guys try to run this command, you know what message come up? There is no enable repo. or this software is not available. Same kind of message, guys. Here Ansible also try to tell you. Means this kind of software is not available. Is not available. So technically, what I'm trying to prove you by this thing is two things. I am going to prove you with one single command. You can install, you can achieve your task in multiple OS, or maybe you have thousands of OS. You just write all command. Your software will install in all the thousand OS. Okay, but most important thing is right. Ansible say you don't have to know the yum command or systemctl command, but if your system don't have your basic command like yum command available or yum command configure, how I will how I will gonna help you. Okay, so so technically, guys, if you are using Red Hat, you should have yum configured. If you're using Ubuntu, you should have apt-get configured. Or by chance, if it's not configured, Ansible have other view also. You can use the Ansible to configure yum. So in my upcoming class, I will tell you how to use Ansible to configure yum also. So technically, it would work like this. We use first Ansible to configure yum, then we use Ansible to install the software. So everything we can do with Ansible. Okay, but by chance, guys, I don't want to invest the time here because you guys might not be comfortable to configure yum with the Ansible. Okay, but in my upcoming classes, after you become comfortable with the yum and some other concept of the Ansible, I will explain you how you can use Ansible to configure the yum also. But till that time, guys, I want, if you do any practical of the Ansible, just please go and manually configure the yum. And how to configure yum is pretty straightforward, very simple. There's nothing special, but I don't want to invest the time here because I have shared my yum classes to you. There I explain you how we can configure the yum. Okay, but this practical is proved you that Ansible is only using the intelligence to call your OS respective commands. They're not copying the thing, they are not installing the services, they are not installing any software for you. But they're calling their respective command to do the things. But yeah, if that respective command like here yum, if it's not your configure, so obviously Ansible won't gonna help you. We can use Ansible to configure those things also, but in the future classes we'll see how we do. Okay, so guys, this task I am giving to you. I want after you launch any new OS, even though, guys, if you try same thing in your OS, you might also get this error. So if you try the same thing in your OS, let's say IP155 is your target node. So why you will get this error? Because the system don't have the yum configure. So I want, please manually go just for yum, just go manual, but I'll show you automate also in the future classes. But right now, go manual, configure yum, and then try with this command. It will work for you. Okay. So this, guys, one thing. Okay. So by chance, guys, anybody who are not comfortable with the yum, yesterday, guys, we have shared our video classes of the yum. It's very basic commands of the Red Hat Linux. Okay. So just go through those classes. It will help you to explain how to configure the yum manually. Okay. So finally, guys, my conclusion for today's class is, right, whatever, guys, you want to achieve, okay, write down those steps. Okay. For example, you want to configure Docker. So anybody who know Docker, write down the steps. First, we have to install the Docker software. Then we have to start the Docker services. Then we have to download the image. Then we start the Docker run. Or you want to configure a database server. Okay, or maybe in your company, if you want to configure Apache web server, your step might be different. You might install some respective version of the software. You might copy from some other GitHub. You might to do some internal file changes. You have to start some services. You have to add some extra security firewalls. So write down your steps. Search in the Google Ansible doc. Find out your respective modules. Create one command over here and run the command. But guys, till today, I have only created a command. So these are the Ansible command. But technically, Ansible also have a way to create a code. That's called Ansible code. And that code is called playbook. So by today's, guys, my tomorrow plan is to convert this command into the Ansible code. This makes more sense, guys. And tomorrow, guys, it actually look like that we are doing some automation. Today's class might not look like so much automation because I have to manually type this command and to manually run this command. It look like manual. So guys, don't focus more about automation and the manual. Focus in one part today, that whatever we did today is like intelligence. Without knowing the command, without knowing the OS, I can install the software, I can upload the file, I can install the service. But how can I convert this command that look like manual? Manual means I have to keep on typing and keep on running. How can I convert this manual command into the automation? We'll see tomorrow. How? There's one concept on the Ansible is called playbook. So that I can create an Ansible code, and after writing the code, we can do the same thing with the automation also. So what I mean by this, I will explain you tomorrow. But I want guys at least do this practical at your computer, so you guys would be comfortable on these concepts. So that's all, guys, for today. Very important class, according to me. But don't worry, guys. This concept will come. We repeat multiple times, all right? Hundreds of example we'll see here, so you become very much comfortable in upcoming classes. But any query if you have, you can ask me, guys. Okay. Can I use Ansible to install Docker? Yes, Manan. Now, if you know this approach, okay, again write down your steps here. Okay, so if you guys know Docker, write down your steps here. Where is one here? 1 minute. Okay, and then step by step convert your steps into the command, and then try it. Okay. So how to create Docker? Bobby, I will give this answer to you in my Docker classes. Any question, anything related to Ansible, if you have, you can ask me. Okay, Himalaya. Yes, tomorrow we will go and writing the code in YAML file. So tomorrow, guys, we will go and write a YAML file through which we can automate the Ansible code. Which is better, Ansible or Podman? Suman, both has a different requirement, right? I can compare. Podman is purely the container. Ansible is a automation tool. We can compare Podman with the Docker, but there's no meaning of comparison of Ansible or the Podman. Akshay Anil, I don't know where you put the message. Right, I can see. Can you see my message? So I don't know what query you have. Yes, Ritesh, you can use Ansible to download a software Hadoop and install somewhere. All right, you can do from the Ansible very easily. So Somik, you asked me that you have 100 entries in the inventory file. So how can you run this command on limited node? So in my upcoming class, I will show you. There's a concept called group group host. So we can create a group of hosts. So if you have hundreds IP and you don't want to run your Ansible command in all the computers, so we can we can create a group of IPs there. Let's say 10 IPs. So we can tell only run this 10 IPs, or only run this command only on this 10 IPs. So there you don't have to use this all command. We can we can give the range or something like this. So Somik, in my upcoming class we'll discuss this. So how to do this config on the cloud instance? Pratik, I am not taking this setup right now because not everybody is comfortable with the cloud. But yeah, in upcoming class of Ansible, I'll show you how we can do the same config on the cloud. So I will explain in my upcoming class how to deploy a Flask application on some of the server, right? So if you are the part of my earth learner, so when I start the flask training, the time I will explain you how to deploy. Why are we using hyphen AEA? Hyphen AEA is option here to tell my module. Hyphen M means module. I am telling this module that your module is looking for some argument, and these are arguments we have. Okay, so hyphen A is the one of the option used by this module. Yes, Nitesh, you can do. Guys, you can configure your own computer. So your control node can also become your target node. So if you can write down your own IP, so you can configure your own system. So your control node can also work as your target node. How do we know the software is already available? Ansible will find out for you how they find for you. So there's in upcoming class there's a concept, Ansible I will explain you, right, how Ansible will find the software already exists or not. Actually, yes. Anybody who know about SLNX, so Ansible has a way we can set all the SLNX context and SLNX permission. Yes, Ronak, we can use one also instead of all. So maybe tomorrow class, I will explain you how to use one IP or a range of IP. Okay, I will show you maybe tomorrow. Yes, Guru Prasad, you can upgrade any of the software from the Ansible. They have option available, for the upgrade also. But it's depend because if you install other software or update the software, it always pick from yum or whatever the OS respective commands. If the software is available there, it will work for you. Ansible is the one who only give the instruction. If the software is not available, Ansible won't help you. So your ask is, can we upgrade Google Chrome for Ansible? Answer is yes. If the Google Chrome updated software available in your software repository. Sandeep, we will definitely discuss about public and private key in detail, but actually, it's not the actually topic of Ansible classes. So rather than I invest my half day, half class on discuss public and private key of SSH. We have to use there a lot, but I don't want to invest time. So soon I will share one of my video where I have explained in detail about the SSH public key and private key. Okay, and if you want to know more about, so soon I'm going to launch one cryptographic classes where I explain more detail about in depth about the use of these keys and how it works. So in my IIC Right channel, I will soon launch one classes on cryptography where you guys can join. Nishant, don't worry. REL is very simple concept, resource abstraction layer. After 2 or 3 classes of Ansible, you become comfortable with this concept. Don't worry. I just wanted to tell you the name, but I keep on referencing this name. I keep on refer this name in my future classes, so you become comfortable. So, Rahul, how to get the CLI in the web UI? In my upcoming class, not in the Ansible, is a different concept altogether. So, if you are the part of my Earth, so I will explain you there how to get the CLI of your Linux in your web UI. How to detect Ansible, how Ansible detect the target node. So there's one topic come up in the Ansible, maybe in my next week. This is called facts. So fact is a concept through which Ansible detect your target node. So when I start the facts, you come to know how they detect. Yes, Devji Gupta, you are right. If your yum is configured in your target node, then they will install HTTP software. Okay. If any other new OS come up, Tirumala, you ask me any other new OS come up, how to add OS command to the Ansible. You don't have to add a Tirumala, because if any Linux OS come up, for example, if a Red Hat come up, so they have their command already, like systemctl command or mkdir command. Okay, we are just sending the signal or the instruction to those OS with the help of Ansible. So Ansible will go to those guys and say, you have the command like mkdir for directory or yum for installing software. So Ansible will send the signal to those guys, and they will run those command on our behalf. Okay. Kritika, HTML file would never be executable. Okay. HTML file is a normal text file. You have to always copy the HTML file in your web server. Yeah. If your question is if you want to make the file executable, I think you're talking about CS mode command, right? While uploading the file, we use a copy module. In the copy module, we have one option here. So if you see in the copy module, we have an option called mode. We can write here 775, something like this. So those who guys know anything about CS mode command in the Linux. So if you have a requirement after upload the file, my file permission automatically change, so you can use this keyword. And how I know this keyword? We don't have to remember again. If you go to the document over here, you will find these kind of options available. So if you go to copy module, maybe you'll find they have this option. They should have. Let me check. So they have a option for SC Linux. They have the option. Yeah, here it is. Mode. You can say, you write the mode like this, WR6 or 117.0.7 like this. So by chance, anybody who know about permission, they can use this concept also. So guys, if anybody are getting the message called invalid password or permission denied, most probably, guys, you have given the the wrong password, or maybe you're trying to connect to the AWS instance, the password doesn't work, you have to provide the key there. This might be possibility. So please take care, it's not much energy to take the classes. And I know, Vishal, but my remedy for the good health is to do my work, means to take the classes. I have to install Ansible on the top of AWS Cloud. My target node is also Ansible. Yes, we can do, Ankit. Only thing is, you have to use the key there. Just wait for some classes, because not everybody is comfortable with key. After everybody comfortable with the SS key, then I'll take this class how to make the, the target node of AWS and put everything in the AWS Cloud also. No, Kosank, you don't have to remember all the module name. Even though this is the first class, I can think, all right, when I start this approach, but after certain classes, I can give you a guarantee. You would be so much comfortable with the module names. So I have some tricks also. So technically, you don't have to remember the names. So I have some other tricks also. Those tricks will help you to automatically find out which module to use. So don't worry. So your question is, in the exam, can we have to remember the module name? Answer is no. I have certain tricks without knowing the module name. you can do all the things. Siraj, your question is in Ubuntu, the software name is not HTTP Apache 2. Yes, I this is a very good scenario. How to solve that scenario? Maybe my next classes I have this topic, guys. I'll discuss there. Okay, so yes, Bulvinder, not all the module give you RC code. Okay, so some module give RC code 0, or some module give the other other information. For example, mostly they give you the option called changed. Somebody give you failure. Somebody give you RC. It's module to module actually. Okay, so in some module, normally by looking at the color we can find, but in some module, if you use RC1, it may fail. If somebody give you some other message called failure, it's fail. So it's again module to module. If you want to check they are working or not, so either you can use the RC module, or you can use the color, or you can use some other keyword like change, maybe some kind of failure message they give you. Can I share my virtual environment? Gotham, I don't know what exactly you want to discuss in your virtual environment. Yes, Nupur, your target node can be container. In my upcoming class, this will be one of the topic I will discuss. We'll make one of our target node to be Docker container. Okay. Answer yes, you can make your target node to be Docker container, or maybe any other container also. You're awesome. Thank you, Subhasari. Yes, Gagandeep, you can automate your Hadoop also. Anything, whatever you know in the technology, you can automate with Ansible, right? And this is the approach that I show you today. That's what you use. But I'll take this kind of example multiple time, and after some days, you become so much comfortable. Yes, it is. If you want to install the software, obviously a package should be there. Ansible is only in giving the instruction. If package is not there in the target node, or I can say target node doesn't know from where to download the software, it obviously it fail. Same thing happened, guys, in my this OS. So this target is one of my target node having this IP address, but this target node doesn't know from where to download the software. So that is reason it failed. Okay. So what is SS key? I'll share my one of my video. Just go through the video. You will be comfortable with the SS key. So again, guys, there is multiple queries, but I think a lot of queries that you asked me yesterday is being solved, and some other query that you asking me maybe tomorrow class or next 2 or 3 class. Most of the guys will be solved. Okay. So that's all for guys for today. Just try to do the same kind of setup. Okay. Um, not able to ping team member system. Yes, Anuj, you won't able to ping team member system. Why? Because your IP and other team member IP of yours have the private IP, and two private IP won't able to ping over the internet. Okay. So how to connect this? Maybe in my upcoming class, especially my AWS cloud, I will explain you those concepts. Okay. Okay. And then I give you some more trick. If you have in the private world and you want to connect two laptops in the private world, how we can connect this. Okay, we'll see guys those things. Okay. So right now I want, if you want to do this practice, launch to OS in your laptop and do this practice there. Okay. So guys, that's all for today. Multiple query I have. I am not taking those query because I believe these questions, guys, uh, query you have will be coming in my next classes, right? Okay, guys, that's all for today, and see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye. Good and good night.